So this is just going to be a quick video to show you how you can achieve your first pull-up. I know all I pretty much do on Instagram is pull-ups, so I thought it would be a nice time to share the secret of how to actually get there. So let's get cracking! Exercise number 1 is an inverted row. So we're doing this at home because most of us are at home at the moment. However, if you are training in a gym, you can just do this with a barbell in a squat rack. So to set up for the inverted row at home, you just need a table you can get your body underneath so you can pull yourself up. You can either do this with a straight leg or a slight bend in the knee. A slight bend in the knee will be easier, so a straight leg is the more advanced version of this. Grab the table slightly widen and shoulder width apart, so about 1.5 times shoulder width. From here, we want to be able to set our back in the correct position. And we do this by retracting our scapula and engaging the lats. A way to visualize this is imagine you're putting your shoulder blades in your back pocket. From here, we're going to pull up, leading with our chest rather than our hips. Keeping our chest proud and leading with our chest means that we're going to keep a nice neutral position through the movement. The top of the movement is when the chest touches the top, so this is either the table or the barbell that you're using. And at the top, you should be able to squeeze your shoulder blades together and get a really nice contraction. Once you're at the top of the movement and you feel this contraction, slowly release back down to the starting position, whereby your arms are straight and you're feeling a nice stretch in your lats. A really common mistake with this movement is letting your shoulders roll forwards and therefore kind of shrugging up to the top position. Using the cues of a retracted scapula and a proud chest hopefully will stop you from doing this. The inverted row is a great exercise that has a lot of carryover to the pull-up. So it is a really good place to start with when you're setting the foundations to getting towards your pull-up. So moving away from this, we're going to be looking at how to develop the actual pull-up on the actual verticalness part. I'm just going to break down what makes a pull-up and different parts of the pull-up that you can execute before going to the full pull-up, which will help you get the full pull-up. A common mistake with the pull-up is people don't look to actively stimulate their lats. And this, I mean, you just grab and you pull and you just kind of let what happens happen. So here's a lovely example from myself of just pulling and hoping for the best. As you can see, my lats aren't really engaged, my shoulders are rolling forwards and I'm shrugging up to the bar. So in order to be able to recruit this muscle properly, you need to be able to understand how to retract your scapula and get into that starting position. The cue I used last time was putting your lats in your back pocket. Another way to think about this is almost achieving a reverse shrug. So a shrug is like this, reverse shrug is like this. You want to be able to increase the distance between your earlobe and your shoulder. Which brings us on to our next exercise, which is the scapular pull-up. Start in a hanging position. From here, we're going to be retracting our scapula by depressing the shoulders. This, like I said before, should increase the distance between your ear and your shoulders. You want to repeat this just so you can get used to what it's like to actually retract your scapula and set you in the right starting position before going into a pull-up. You can see here how it transfers into the full movement. My scapula starts retracted and it gives me a really nice foundation to pull up and use my lats for the pulling movement. Obviously, you're not going to be able to go straight from a scapular pull-up straight to a full pull-up, so the next one, on which is probably going to be your bread and butter into getting towards your first pull-up, is executing a good negative pull-up. To achieve this, you're going to just do a slight hop so that your chin is above the bar. At the top, you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together before slowly releasing back down to the floor. Your time under tension on the way back down probably won't be very long to begin with, but look to increase this time the more you do this exercise. This is how you will progressively overload this movement. Notice here that I am still keeping that distance between my ears and my shoulders, and I am not shrugging at any point during this movement. Once this is down and mastered, we can look at going into the full pull-up. Grab the pull-up bar with your palms facing away from you, with your arms just slightly further than shoulder width apart, again around 1.5 times your shoulder width. Drop down so that you're in a hanging position, either with your legs bent and your ankles behind you, or in a straight leg position. In either position, you don't want to be able to touch the floor, and as you pull up, you want to make sure that you're not bringing your hips and your knees forwards, as this will cheat the movement. At the bottom position of a pull-up, you should be able to feel your lats stretching. Once the lats are stretched, this is when you retract your scapula to initiate the pull, and then you'll bring your chest up to the bar so that your chin, by a minimum, is just above the bar. So once you have your chin over the bar, that's when you release back down to the starting position. So again, you're feeling the stretch in your lats. If you're not getting to the point where you're feeling this stretch, then you're not completing a full rep. And quite often you see quite a lot of half reppers when looking at the pull-up. Pull-ups mainly use your back muscles, so obviously having a strong back is going to go a long way in you achieving your first pull-up. So one thing that you do see a lot of people when they're trying to get their first pull-up is going for the resistance bands. The problem with the resistance bands, it offers differing tension throughout the movement. At the bottom of the movement, you're getting a lot of support from the band, whereas when you're getting further up, you're getting less support. Over time, this kind of makes your pull-up wonky, as you're weaker at the bottom and stronger at the top. Using negatives, or alternatively an assisted pull-up machine where your tension is the same throughout the movement, is therefore a more beneficial way to do it, or again looking at that inverted row we first looked at. So I hope you guys have found this video useful in some capacity. If you have any questions, do let me know. Just as a quick overview, the cues that are really important to remember whilst going through a pull-up: to press your shoulders and retract your scapula. Always lead with the chest first rather than the hips. Bring your elbows back and down to pull yourself up, ensuring full range of motion by fully lengthening the lats, so getting the stretch at the bottom, and fully contracting them at top, so squeezing your shoulder blades together. Thank you for watching. Well done if you've got this far, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys pulling up soon.